Exiting the Matrix Empowered Living Mastery course, reading and commentary and actually questions and answers. I'm just going to get a little set up here while we're waiting for people to join us. If you're here, welcome. So excuse me, I am watching the comments as they come in. I will periodically be checking the comments, but overall I'm talking, reading, sharing. Excuse me. So, I just want to, first of all, send everybody a big hug. There is a lot going on in the world, and I choose to believe that it's all coming together for the better. I personally would not go out and protest unless it was a peaceful demonstration, like the monks that are walking across the country, showing what peace looks like. I literally had a vision of me in Minnesota, like sitting somewhere that's not by all, I mean, in the middle of everything, but not like on the ground. Like, I don't know, like a little bit higher stand. And I'm sitting peacefully demonstrating what it looks like. Hello, welcome. Hi, Kevin. Thank you so much for moderating. I like what you're doing. I appreciate it. So, I have been going over 10 core aspects of life, which are personal, like self-love, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, sexual, relational, behavioral, financial, and legal. So we are on the 5th week, which is the emotional core dimension. And this course was written for humanity. It's for you. It's for everyone. In some way, you can glean some information from this, because in my life experience, there are some very deep truths about healing, self-healing, that are not taught regularly. Hello, welcome. So it would be important, like I created this in 2019 and it's been revised in 2005, and so it is for, because I healed myself, and I was like, I healed myself. I'll never need therapy again. I'm never going to have major depression again. In fact, I can say I'll probably never be in, like, have medical issues like we see the older generation, because they subscribe. If you subscribe to it, you believe that the medical industry is going to help you. They're actually an illness industry, but there are lots of things that we can do to heal ourselves, prevent having to heal yourself, etc., etc. Hello, welcome. Nice that you're here, Carrie. So this is really a whole person education. It was written as a journey, like foundation upon foundation building, and like a conversation for humanity, because I'm sharing my worldview, and I've done a lot of introspection and deep personal work on myself, and so I took the information that I gained from 54 years of my life and have put it into this course to help others. And so someone who's, like, it could be for teenagers that are graduating from high school and they want a firm foundation for their future, or someone who's middle-aged and they're having a midlife crisis, or you got divorced and you're trying to find yourself, or you just really care about humanity and you want to share your insight in this as well, so that we can progress as the human species on this planet. Hello. Welcome from Germany. Nice. Yes. Awesome. I'm glad you agree. So, because I have a long story, I wrote my autobiography to help me heal from my traumas. Lots of stuff. And I ended up going into a major depression, having, being reactatory, emotionally needy, or like I was the victim. I played victim for a long time until I took responsibility for my own everything, actually, because lots of things happened and I could have reacted different, but let's see. So I'm just passionate about this because I see our educational systems failing, society, our medical industry, our psychological industry, you name it. They're not providing what people need. And so this is these two books together, combined, are the Exiting the Matrix course that is free if you want the online version, or if you want to listen to me talk and read about it here. Excuse me. I'm Ayla Love. And that's not my real name. It will be when I change it legally. But I think everyone should change their last name to Love, because love is the answer. Let's see. So one thing, when you're doing public speaking, you're not supposed to say So I'm not gonna say anymore. Watch. Ayla. A-Y-L-A. So the current topic again is the emotional core dimension. So we've already gone over personal, spiritual, mental. And the introductory, which goes over what is the matrix, and socialization, because those are key aspects, foundation for this whole course. So if you haven't, go back. They're all the lives are on my channel, and get all the information. I'm pretty sure you can fast forward. And I'll be talking like this. Okay. So, in the description, you'll find links for the core self-inventory. That is actually the foundation for this course. It's like you just answer some questions, and then, hello, welcome. And then it will give you some practical guidance to reach your highest potential. Self-actualization. That is a core principle of this course, is to help people become the best version of them possible on your terms. Where do I come from? I'm from Minnesota, but I live in Florida now. So another link that is on there is to access the online course, which has the audios, but not my voice. And there's a podcast, and there's like worksheets and the template for the schedule for this live, so you can see what is going to be coming up. Yes, USA. Yay. Also, I have space for an inner circle for men and women to join. There's space for 30 people. And then there's a sacred circle for women I'm going to add one for men. That's only 5 people, so that you can get more personalized and individual, or, smaller group focus. And also, there's a link to get personalized support one-on-one, and you can join the Exiting the Matrix Facebook group in the link below. And if you'd like to support my mission to educating individuals and supporting me to help people raise their vibration, there's a link for that too. So remember, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you know anyone who could benefit from the information I'm providing, direct them here or even to the online course. And on my website, there's actually a free self-love guide to get you started on loving yourself. Because if we all love ourselves, we're going to make the world a better place together. And so last week, I just wanted to answer a question that came up. Someone asked, what is my philosophy on life? And so I'm going to break it down. Core values, love. Love is the answer. And in an extreme case, I remember seeing an article, a news article or a news story about a woman, her son was killed by a man. And the woman literally befriended the man who killed her son, forgave him, and now they're friends. That's extreme. What did it take for her to be able to show a man love who actually killed her son? There could be many variables in that answer. But the foundation is forgiveness, which is a loving act. Not only forgiving to relieve yourself. I mean, when you forgive others, you're freeing that space in you. And so that's an extreme case, but in a very general case, you're driving down the road. Somebody cuts you off. Have love. Understand that people are going to be jerks sometimes. They're not going to think about what's going on. We see cars. We don't see people. So we are in our own little world. It's going to happen. Just know that. You already know that. I mean, you can do what you can do to prevent yourself from being that, but if you do that, don't you want someone to be easily forgiving to you? That's a form of love. To release, anger and animosity towards someone because they cut you off on the road. And it's also it's also self-love, because when you bring yourself into lower vibrational frequencies, such as hate, animosity, anger, you're hurting your own body. So it's a form of self-love to just allow, observe. And that is a foundation in which I live my life. So, and then let's see, beliefs about purpose and meaning. My beliefs about purpose and meaning. I think it's, first of all, lifelong learning is very key. We are all learning at different rates, different stages. We're learning different things. We're growing, evolving. So there's no comparison. You really can't compare yourself to anybody, because you are that unique. Your life experience is key. How you were raised, the experiences that you had or didn't have, the life choices you made. There will never be an identical story for any two humans. Okay? Not even twins. We're all different. I'm working on it. Let's see. So yeah, personal growth is just, if you have that attitude that you're learning, okay? We are all learning. So ego can be thrown out the window. We're in a society that says you're an adult when you're 18 and your frontal lobe's not even fully developed, probably. It takes a long time for that to develop if you're not reading, if you're not studying something, if you're not being creative, if you're just, going with the flow, work, 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 sleep, eat, work, 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 sleep. That whole cycle is not really beneficial for anyone, really. So I haven't worked a full-time job since 2014. And I've had my free time. I have freedom, time freedom. That's why I wrote this course. I was hoping that it would bring an income. It hasn't. But I'm still chugging along, learning wherever where I'm at. And let's see. So, perspective on challenges and resilience. Be resilient. This chapter is about emotions. Men and women are not taught how to regulate their emotions. Men are taught they can feel masculine emotions. The tough guy. If they show any sign of weakness or any softness, then they're judged. We've all heard it, man up, buck up, be a man. So they're not allowed to feel soft, feminine feelings. Women, we get to feel all our feelings. But we're crazy. Yeah, okay. But because we were allowed to feel all our feelings, we are more in tune with why we feel the way we feel. Because we had to face that our entire life while dealing with the stigma of being crazy, because we feel our feelings. Okay, so neither were taught how to regulate. And tonight I'll be talking about the emotional core dimension, basic, and then the emotional quotient. And there's actually a little quiz you can take to find out where you stand. So, life is challenging. And when we make poor choices, whenever you go into a relationship with anyone, business, romantic, even relatives, anyone you engage with and put trust in, and it falls apart, and then there's a breakdown, and then you're like questioning, I never should have. It's a learning. You're learning. That's the whole point. You're learning. So, for example, I've been married and divorced 3 times. Now, I've had people judge me. Oh, yeah, what's wrong with you? Blah, blah. Okay, guess what? The reality is that when I was young, I thought that being kind and loving was normal for everyone. Because I was raised in a very loving atmosphere. No one ever fought. I literally saw my parents argue like scary. Not even scary. I mean, honestly, all they did was argue. Their voices were loud. And I thought they were going to get a divorce, okay? They never did. But in my whole community, I only saw one other couple, like two women in my family get into a spat. So I believed, and that's where life experience comes in, I believed that people were genuinely kind and loving and didn't lie to your face. I was very naive. Okay, yes. So when I got into relationship with men, like, I should have had a foundation of, hey, I don't allow this in my life. Okay. Now I do. Now I'm like, I can see energy. I can feel your energy. And it won't take me very long to go, we're not compatible. But when you're young, you don't really have that because you don't have the life experience and like thinking that you're old enough to get married at 18, 19 or have children. You know, my parents, well, my grandparents got married when they were 20, 18, whatever. It worked for them. It's the whole different time period. So I don't look at myself, oh no, what's wrong with me? No, I was learning. So each of those marriages taught me something. and relationships, like, they teach you something about yourself. Like, an example, hello. Um, so like third husband, that was when I like realized I'm not supposed to help. Like, I'm gonna help him. I only did that with my second husband. The third husband, I was like, I am trying to help you, like that, like, it's a mutual thing when you're married or in a relationship. Partnership. That's what I always wanted. I wanted a partner. So when he was being verbally and physically abusive to me, I reacted poorly. So I see how my actions and reactions made it worse. So that's why like self-forgiveness is key, because we all make mistakes. Every single person makes mistakes on this planet. And there's a bigger purpose. There's a bigger reason for everything. when you know yourself very deeply, you understand why you had to go through certain things. Because if I was stuck in my second marriage, right now I would not be doing lives. If I would have become the submissive wife that he wanted, calling him Lord, he literally said that to me. You should call me Lord like Abraham, or Sarah called Abraham. Yeah, and that's in the Bible. I'm like, dude, she did that out of her heart because he earned it. And that was a whole nother time period. Like, what's wrong with you? But if I would have latched on to that and like totally lost myself and just been his wife, who knows where I'd be? I'd still be a Jehovah's Witness. Okay? I would not be here trying to help people from all the shit I've been through. So I accept, and that's really the key to life, is learning the grieving process. Because every time you get knocked down, you don't get what you want, you're disappointed, you lose someone, whether they died or divorce, anything, they move across the country, whenever you lose something, someone, you have to go through the grieving process. And the grieving process is not just for if someone dies. And that's kind of what they teach. Like, so, and because that's what happened to me. I lost a baby. I had a stillborn. So that's when the grieving process came to my attention. When I should have been grieving a lot of things. And not, if I had been taught that younger, I could have dealt with things, and then each thing could have been just that one thing that I'm dealing with. So that's one of the problems, is that we're not taught how to heal, and we don't have time. So then it's like on top of each other, it's like mounting. You wonder why the guy or the girl is gonna spaz out and go shoot people. It's because they can't take it anymore. Because they have never been taught how to self-manage their thoughts, their emotions, to love themselves, to forgive themselves, forgive others. Is all based on love. Agape love. There's 7 forms of love, just so you know. So, trust me, I was celebrating when I got divorced. No offense, guys, but see ya. So, that is pretty much my philosophy on life. And I have inner peace. I'm not worried about what people think about me or judgment, or if I forgave, or if I ask for forgiveness from someone and they choose not to, I still forgive myself. So that's their problem. When they want to come to me and go, okay, I want to resolve this, sure. But it needs to be in a loving way, because that's the key. Okay, so I'm going to read this. There's 4 pages, so stay. I think when I start reading, people leave. It's only 4 pages. Okay. Chapter 5, Emotional Core Dimension. The emotional core dimension involves emotional regulation or emotional management, the ability to identify and process emotions, identify feelings and thoughts attached to experiences, process and dissipate negative energy from traumatic emotional experiences, and understand the energetic frequency of emotions, thoughts, and feelings. Emotional regulation. Humans can feel a wide range of emotions that can be managed healthfully. Emotions occur naturally to help us, and they are very beneficial. They are a very beneficial attribute to the human experience, which in fact has a lot to do with your spirituality, because spirituality is tied to emotion. Without emotions, life would be very boring. There are positive emotions that can bring much satisfaction in life, and negative emotions that can make us spiral into depression and even suicidal ideation. Guilty. When something bad happens to us, we get triggered emotionally. This in turn makes us think about why the bad thing happened to us in the first place. That can help us become wiser with our choices, but sometimes it takes longer to learn some lessons. In all cases, being emotionally balanced is key to living a happy, fulfilling life. This lesson explores the world of emotions and clarifies how to attain and maintain emotional balance in your life. Mindfulness, or the practice of living in the moment, is key to emotional balance. We went over mindfulness last week. Thus, living in the present moment. Take the time you need to process your thoughts and feelings when it is appropriate to do so. If you are out with friends going to dinner, that is not the time to be dwelling on your unresolved problems. You basically will not be at the dinner party. Your mind will take you somewhere else, and you will lose out on an opportunity to experience that moment in time with whomever you are with. This can be applied to all activities that you do. When you are in your mind worrying about the future, you are causing anxiety. When you are in your mind dwelling on the past and feeling regret, you are causing depression within you to deepen. Living in the moment frees you from both anxiety and depression. Setting aside time alone to focus on unresolved emotional and mental traumas will provide an opportune time for you to process how you feel, so you can dissipate the negative energy and not hinder the relationships and life experiences you pursue. Divine femininity and masculinity. It is healthy for both males and females to be able to feel their feelings, all of them. Identify emotions and thoughts and process the information to find clarity to heal them. In the United States, though, in general, men and women are not taught emotional regulation. Men are taught to suppress feminine emotions such as sadness, pain, insecurity, etc. They're generally encouraged to express raw masculine emotions such as anger, toughness, etc. While women, on the other hand, are allowed to feel all their emotions. However, because they aren't taught how to manage or regulate their emotions, they are labeled irrational, even crazy, for feeling and expressing their emotions. There's a difference between, I'm just going to add this, there's a difference between feeling your emotions and how you react to them. And I want to touch on that after this if I don't cover it. Divine feminine and divine masculine are archetypal forces or energies present in everything, including ourselves. Imagine them as two sides of a coin, interdependent and necessary for balance. The divine feminine embodies creation, intuition, compassion, and flow. Think of the vast ocean giving birth to life, or the nurturing earth cradling all beings. It's about receptivity, connection, and going with the current. The divine masculine represents action, clarity, purpose, and structure. Think of the sun radiating light and guiding direction, or the strong oak providing shelter and stability. It's about focus, decisiveness, and navigating the path. These principles aren't gender specific. Everyone can access both masculine and feminine energies, allowing us to be creative, nurturing, strong, and decisive depending on the situation. Recognizing and balancing these energies within ourselves and the world around us is key to wholeness and harmony. Emotional quotient. Emotional quotient, or EQ, is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to achieve your goals and build strong relationships. It's like having a user manual for your emotions that helps you navigate life effectively. EQ is different from IQ, which measures intelligence. IQ is important for academic success, but EQ is essential for success in life. EQ can help you build strong relationships by understanding and connecting with others, making it easier to build friendships, romantic relationships, and work relationships. Manage stress by learning how to cope with stress in healthy ways so you don't get overwhelmed or make impulsive decisions. Make good decisions by weighing your options and making choices that are aligned with your values and goals. Motivate yourself by staying motivated and focused even when things are tough. Resolve conflict by communicating effectively and finding solutions to problems so you can avoid fights and arguments. There are many different EQ tests available, but the Bar on EQ-I Youth Inventory is a useful tool for anyone desiring to improve their EQ. This test measures 5 key EQ skills. I'm great, thank you. Interpersonal intelligence. This is the ability to understand yourself, your emotions, and your motivations. Interpersonal intelligence. This is the ability to understand other people, their emotions, and their motivations. Stress management. This is the ability to cope with stress in healthy ways. Adaptability. This is the ability to adjust to change and new situations. General mood. This is your overall emotional outlook on life. The Bar on EQ-I Youth Inventory is a self-report test. I don't know why it's called youth in the name, but which means you take it by answering questions about yourself. This test is available online and takes about 20 minutes to complete. I'm going to put that in. Where's a copy? No. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to put this in the chat. So if you want to do it, let me know if that link doesn't work, but let's see. So, oops, I lost my page. Un momento. Okay. There are many, I already said that. Hold on. It is important to remember that EQ is not something you're born with. It's a skill that you can develop and improve with practice. There are many things you can do to boost your EQ, such as pay attention to your emotions. Try to identify the emotions you're feeling throughout the day. What triggers these emotions? How do they affect your thoughts and your behavior? Talk to someone you trust about your feelings. Talking about your emotions can help you process them and understand them better. Learn how to manage your stress. There are many healthy ways to manage stress, such as exercise, yoga, and meditation. Practice empathy. Try to see things from other people's perspectives. This can help you understand their emotions and connect with them on a deeper level. Be assertive. Be your stepmom? Cute. I would kind of feel like I'm Mother Nature. Try to see things from other people's perspectives. This can help you understand their emotions and connect with them on a deeper level. Be assertive. I said all that. This is an important skill for building strong relationships. Developing your EQ is an investment in your future. It will help you succeed in all aspects of life, from your relationships to your career. And that is the end of the reading for tonight. So I'm going to check out questions, and if you have anything that you want to talk about, let me know. Aww. Thank you. What do you do for leaving? Leaving what? If you have a husband now, what you can do for him to stay on this relationship? I do not have a husband right now, and when I do have a husband, it's going to be based on mutual respect, love, kindness. There will never be yelling, because we're both capable of having a conversation and resolving conflict. Let's see. What is this? Everybody walks their own journey. Yes, people do walk their own journey. What did I learn from having 3 husbands? I just learned about myself, what I didn't want. I'm sure there's lots of things I could talk about in that aspect, but there's so many different aspects of learning. There's 10 core aspects. I could write a book on every single one of these aspects, because what I was doing, or what I did last week. Anyway, the core self-inventory, you rate yourself. I've been doing this inventory since 2009, when I created it for myself, because I wanted to reach my goals. And so emotional, I'm going to say 9 out of 10. So 10 would be my ideal self. And because I'm always learning, and there's actually new aspects that I've learned recently beyond what I'm telling you here. So that's the point. We're always learning, forever. There's so much to life to learn. I mean, comments like telling me you love me and all that, Kevin, feel free to do it. I mean, this is not what this is about, okay? This is not a dating site. This is important work. Helping people manage their emotions. So, in what way can I assist you in this, what we've covered? Do you have any questions for me? Because I can talk about specific things that happened to me, how I handled it, and then how I can make it, how I can, or whatever I learned from it, right? So, thank you, Kevin. Has anyone tested that link I just sent for the EQ test? I will right now. Yep, it's still there. And link to the site. I'm not sure where you start it. Ooh, they're charging now. When I did it, it was free. I'm sure there's a different one that can be used to find out. Age 7 to 18. Whatever. I'm going to find a different one. I'm not going to do it right now because that takes time away from what we're doing. So, are there any questions about emotional intelligence? What are your experiences? Because, you know, saying there's one truth. You can never say all men, all women, all white people, all black people, all anything are this or that, okay? So in general, especially when I'm talking about the United States of America. And I went to public school, so I'm talking about lower class, possibly higher class. We're taught emotional regulation. I mean, I'm sure the privileged probably have this information. So, the point I'm making is that even men, like, it's a general statement saying that men only are allowed to feel their masculine, raw feelings. Or women, this or that, whatever. It's general. It's not like across the board. But you can look at yourself and you can go, yeah, that's somewhat true. Nah, that doesn't apply to me. It may apply to, I would say, more than average. That's what I'm seeing in the world. Yes, this is not a dating site, so don't come at me with that here. Anyone have anything they want to talk about or want me to talk about? Let's see, we've been on here for 43 minutes. I am still available to talk about important things regarding this topic. Let's see, what was I going to say about emotion, about the stuff? Right, and that is key. The things that we go through are preparing us for something. And I was actually going to say, because earlier I brought up the experience of, like, you get cut off in traffic, how you respond. Basically, them cutting you off may save your life. Like, if you would have went that before the other person, that could have led to something dismal, okay? I mean, it's like just being, like, go with the flow. Yes, that is challenging. Right, and it taught you what you don't like, I'm sure. And I kind of think like when we grow up in a home, we either become exactly like our parents or we're like going to be the exact opposite. Yes, there's some variation, but PTSD from it, well, your body is protecting you. That's so let's see. Something that I did because like my first husband cheated on me. When I divorced him, I didn't carry any of that with me. Like I didn't project that onto new people. Everybody's different. And, you know, setting those boundaries up front of what you expect, right? So I'm trying to think of what, like I never carried it over. Like my second husband is a narcissistic Jehovah's Witness who thinks he's God. I never took that and put it out there like, oh, are you going to be like my second husband? Or are you going to cheat? You know, fear. That's fear. So understanding that things happen to us for a reason and not being fearful. That's, yes, it does take a long time. And hopefully we can help future generations not have to take so long to get it. Because, yeah, the foundations for just being a equipped human being, understanding how things work, how your mind and your emotions and physical sensations, how it all like can clash internally. But when you understand the system, then you can heal from it. You can forgive, release. This doesn't mean that you might not become susceptible to it again, but it's your capability of getting through it. Like, for example, my own experiences. Like, okay, I've been through bullshit, then another bullshit. But during that process, I healed myself from the past bullshit. So now this new bullshit actually wasn't even that hard to get over. And that's one of the keys to like why self-healing is so important, because then you don't have a train. That's my experience. Like I felt like I was healed from my past, from all this stuff, which is a lot. And so then when things happened, it wasn't as hard. And then there were different new things, whatever. But I mean, I'm dealing with a whole bunch of stuff right now. A lot. Can you tell? Probably not. Because I know how to deal with it. And all I can say is I send everybody some love. But number one, I'm going to take care of myself. And even if people don't agree or understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, hey, I don't look at your life and tell you what to do. So, that's life. You know? Right? Just learning how to juggle. Shit, yeah, it is. Serious. And you just get better at it over time, I guess. But understanding all these things, prevention is key. Hey Kevin, how many people are in the live right now? Okay, 3 people. Are there any questions? Because I think I'm going to start closing up right now. Okay, I'm gonna close down. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope that this information helps you understand emotional regulation better. And there's a lot that goes into what I just wrote or read. Like, it's personal research. I'm sharing basic information for you to do personal research on. Stimulate your brain, make you think, and want to understand yourself better. Also, there's a bunch of links in the description. You can do the core self-inventory. You can access the online course. You can join the inner circle for men and women. I have 30 spots available, and then a sacred circle for women. And pretty soon I'll be adding a sacred circle for men. And then also you can hire me for personalized support on your journey, one-on-one. There's also a link for the Exiting the Matrix Facebook group. And if you'd like to support my mission, there's a link for that too. So please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Join us tomorrow. Make sure you watch the rest of the videos so you can get all of the information that's foundationally layered so that you can grow and build upon your knowledge so that you can prevent and prepare for a better life. Also, share this with people you know who might be struggling in certain aspects. And I just want to give you guys all a hug again. No matter where you are on the planet, no matter what religion, no matter what color, all of you, everyone, I pray for peace and love to spread throughout the entire planet. So go hug somebody, forgive somebody, forgive yourself, and learn love. Learn how to love yourself and others. Thank you for joining. Have a good night. Oops. Yeah, I don't know how to do this without moving my camera. Anyway.